and welcome to your messages for the week. Today is Sunday, the 26th of March, 2023. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Deborah Jane Sutton, and you can find out more about me and the things that I do from my website at deborahjanesutton.com, or from Facebook, Deborah Jane Sutton, or from this YouTube channel. So have a good browse around. So we're coming to the end of March now. We're in Aries energy and Aries season. If you haven't already seen the messages for the month of March, I'll put a link in. Oh, that card wanted to come out. Did you see that? You didn't see that, but you heard it, I think. I'll put a link in the description and the video in the end screen. It was all about, will the real you please stand up? Because I think a lot of us have been fighting against the real us, because of all this programming, and because we want to be like other people, and because we're worried about being judged by other people. I think this is really clear, but we're all so very unique. We know this from the soul profiles that I do. We know this from the birth chart readings that I've been promoting. So it's kind of really important to find out who you really are, and then honor it and embrace it, and let other people be who they really are, because there's massive personal transformation coming in. And as soon as we align with who we really are, that's when abundance comes in. When you align with your divinity, right? Then that's when abundance comes in, because there's nothing blocking that divine flow of abundance, that source energy of all life, that life force energy that creates everything. That's if the fewer blocks we have to that, that's what we are. That's our natural state of being. The fewer blocks we have to that, and it's our thinking that blocks all of that. So check out those messages, because they were really important. And also last week's, because I was using these cards last week, the life purpose, which was really weird that I got guided to do that. But it was so kind of spot on, because it was talking about how your life purpose supports you. I'll put a link in the description of the video and the end screen to last week's as well, because of course, these energy readings are not strictly from this day to this day. Therefore, whenever you happen to come across them. But yeah, our life purpose does support us. And I'm hearing every day from people that go, I love doing X, Y, Z, but I can't make any money at it, so I'm not going to do it. And it's not about making money at it. It's about raising your frequency. And a really good example I had come up was like the cleaner, right? Now, probably dominant in third energy center, because they are the best cleaners, but whatever. And she enjoyed cleaning. It wasn't like most of us that find it a chore. Again, it depends on your unique makeup, right? So as I said, third energy centers, they don't mind cleaning. They just get into it. They listen to their music, they enjoy the exercise side of it. And she was going to other people's houses to clean them. And she loved meeting all these new people. They were all so different. They all loved her. They all appreciated what she did with their space. Of course, if she was third energy center, she'd been harmonizing the space as well. But the point being that, that's not going to make her, financially rich, shall we say, being a cleaner. That's what we think, right? But because she was in her element, because she was grateful and loving the exercise, she was really grateful and loving the fact that she could listen to her music. She was self-employed, and she was meeting different people every day, or, every week, or what have you. She was meeting new people. She was enjoying their appreciation. And the more she got appreciated, the more her vibration raised. And she just loved what she was doing. Okay, so it's not always about, she did find a job with her gifts, I guess. But what I mean is, it's not about, doing something out of the ordinary. It's about how you live your life, and how you do the things that you do, and how you express it. So by understanding that that is her expressing her gift, when she's cleaning, she can amplify the energy by holding space and just knowing that she's creating a harmonious space, knowing that she's lifting the frequency of that room, knowing that the people that come into it are going to be harmonized and find greater peace, and just knowing the bigger picture behind you all, that's going to bring her abundance. That's what's going to raise her. And then whatever her desires are will come in because they will resonate at her new higher frequency. So whether that could be financial, there's many ways of money coming to you. It could be inherited, you could win it, you could what have you, or maybe you just lose your expenses. It's not about the money, it's about the joy, the abundance, the emotional fulfillment. It's about them feeling that you have meaning to your life. It's about feeling like you're serving others. It's about knowing that you're being who you came here to be. That's what lifts us. And when you're living your life purpose, you can really see that because you realize that you're doing something that other people can't do. So people might say, I'm using cleaning as an example, you can tell that, but like cleaning, it's like, oh, anybody can clean. Well, yes, of course, and we all have to do it in our houses, but not everybody's that good at it. Not everybody enjoys it that much, and not everybody can make a life around it. Do you see what I'm getting at? Oh, I hope you do, because it was a really important one. The life purpose, your life purpose supports you. Because when you live your purpose with understanding, consciousness, and meaning, and all of those things, and love, of course, when you live your purpose, then everything falls into place and you raise your frequency and you align with your divinity. And it's that that changes your life around. It's that that changes your life around. I've gone off on one already, and I have one card fell out. It's face down. I have no idea what it is. So let's see if there's any others before before I go off on one anymore. So let's have a look. So for the week ahead, I'm just trying to think. Yes, Saturday is the 1st of April. So this is our last week of March. So what messages do we have? Thank you. For the last week of March 2023. Powerful month. Now, a lot of you might know I have enjoyed following Sara Landon, who channels the council. I'll put a link in the description to her. I think I always have a link in to her teachings because I highly recommend them. But even even the council, even Sara Landon was saying that the you that you will be at the end of this month is not going to be the you that you were at the beginning of this month. I mean, the astrologers are all saying it, the card readers are all saying it, a lot of us are feeling it. But, it also came through the council as well that that this is the most transformational month. That's what I want to say, the most transformational month. So interesting, and it could be happening on a level that we're not aware of. It could be happening on a level that we're not aware of. Because I tend to find that after like an aha moment, any kind of self-realization or any kind of realization, when you realize something, when a truth emerges, however that may happen, that something in your life changes. For me, it's usually diet related. I tend to find that my diet cleanses itself naturally whenever I have some kind of spiritual growth, some kind of, rise in my frequency. But for other people, it could be something different, of course. But when you have an aha moment or one of these little, oh my God, I didn't realize that. It could be about something outside of you or something inside of you, right? Whenever you have that, because your frequency's risen, because your frequency's changed, something is going to change outside of you. But what often happens is that because we're not aware of that, we carry on living our life the way we have been living it. So doing the same activities, which maybe are not serving us anymore. And we suddenly find, oh, I don't like doing that anymore. So it's really good to reflect all the time on what you're eating, what you're doing, who you're spending time with, your thoughts, because changes are coming and they can be coming without us being aware of them, if that makes sense. So that's why it's always important to check in with yourself. Do I really want to eat that? Do I really want to drink that? Do I really want to go and meet that person? Do I really want to spend my time doing whatever it is? What is there different coming in that I'm saying no to because I think it's not for me? But now I'm realizing, oh, actually, that is for me. I quite like that now. We're allowed to change. We need to change. Change is the only constant, right? So it's important to check in with ourselves like that. Okay, get on with the cards, Deborah. Get on with the cards. Right, I've got four of them. They're face down. It's, look, yeah, he's saying this is it, the devil. I love it. Because we had one recently, didn't we? Learning to love the devil. Have you learned to love the devil? We have to love him, of course, because he's teaching us so much. He's teaching us so much at the moment. He's our greatest teacher, isn't he? He's a major arcana. He's that powerful. And this is kind of what I'm just saying is that, we're looking at something and thinking that's not for us, but actually that is for us. We're allowed to change. And he's also, this is the ego card. He's the addictions card. He's the temptation card. So if you are like me and your diet cleanses, it's like a lot of addictions. I have said this before, but I think it's a really important one. What my theory is that the severity of the addiction is in proportion to the perceived separation from source. I'll say that again so that it makes it clear. But the severity of the addiction is in proportion to the perceived separation from source. So someone that's severely addicted to heroin or cocaine or something like this, they're going to have a perceived separation, a great, they're going to really perceive themselves as being separate from source, from the point that they're not going to acknowledge that they are source, if you see what I mean. And then the addictions can get kind of lesser in severity, if you know what I mean. And I think one of the reasons that we all have some kind of addiction to some level is because we're not totally enlightened. We're not totally 100% expressing our divinity and in alignment with who we really are. So the addictions kind of, they can go to maybe the alcohol or sugar addictions. There's gambling, isn't there? There's retail addiction. Some people, shoppers, how many pairs of shoes have you got? Handbags, I don't know, some people do this, don't they? Food addiction, of course. You've got the sugar addiction, the carbohydrate addiction going into my realms now. But there could be smoking, could be negative thinking, it could be this one where you pull your hair out, all sorts of ones. Self-harming would be somewhere on there, wouldn't it? All of these, what we would perceive as issues or self-sabotage, they're all, he's the self-sabotage card. Definitely. We all do it, right? We all do it on some level because we're all doing stuff that isn't good for us, but we know it and then we justify it, which is fine. And we don't beat ourselves up. There's no right and wrong here. I'm just observing a kind of a path. And very often you might find that when you release one addiction, you actually find another one. But as long as it's less severe, just for example, if you're having a handful of cigarettes a day, that has to be kind of better than taking heroin or something, So there is kind of like a judgment. I am judging, I guess, aren't I? But you can see what I mean. You can see what I mean. But he is definitely about the self-sabotage card and the temptation. And what I was saying before about when you have this aha moment, something inside of you changes, but then you carry on doing the same thing. You carry on doing whatever it was that you were doing. So we've got to go out. I remember when I gave up drinking, and I didn't want to give up drinking because I had been, programmed that that's what you do on a Friday night. You get together with your friends and you have one too many. And my whole identity was evolved around that. So when I went off it, I just naturally went off alcohol. I just didn't want it anymore, right? But I didn't want to be teetotal because I had been like programmed to believe that was boring. Talking about judging yourself. That's an example of what he's saying now. Is that I would still open a can of lager on a Friday evening when I came in from work, and then I'd take a sip and not want it, but I had to keep opening it because I thought that's what I wanted. So although my body had said no, my mind was still telling me yes, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to do. I think it takes us a while. It takes our human a while to catch up with the spiritual shifts that are going on. So we start still let's go out and party, let's have a drink, or cake as well. Let's have a great big birthday cake and eat too much sugar. why do we want to do that? you know, let's have a fruit cake or something like that. But it could be all sorts of behaviors and habits, and also like the cigarette. Oh, I have to have a cigarette every morning. Do you? Do you? Is that true? Is that true? But I was in that situation as well. So it's kind of like he's asking us to question. He's asking us to question our activities, our relationships, definitely our food intake, our routines. And what is it we're doing that we've always done, that we believe that we need to do, or we believe is okay, but actually our body doesn't want it anymore? Your soul doesn't want it anymore, but your body still thinks it does. That's what I want to say about that. Something that your soul doesn't want you to do anymore, but your body is just taking a bit of time to catch up. Does that make sense? Look, we've got the sun following it. Two major arcanas. Powerful, powerful week. This is the most positive card in the deck. Horse is a positive movement forward. There's your rebirth. There's your rebirth. The rays of the sun are spiritual guidance. Listen to your spiritual guidance, because there's a new you emerging. So this would be the new me that emerged a few years ago, the new teetotal, is a completely new me with a new way of thinking. It's not boring to be teetotal, by the way. Far from it. But you don't know that at the time, because we're in this density. Okay, I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm just saying what the cards are saying and using my own experience as an example. So it could be something else, some other activity or some other substance or some other, some kind of addiction. It could be, like I said, retail therapy or what have you. Okay. It could be negative thinking. But this is such a positive card, and it's come right on the heels of it. So what I think is beautiful and glorious now, what I'm getting from this, is that whatever this addiction is, it's short-lived. You're going to reflect this month and go, I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to consume that product, that substance anymore. I don't want to see whoever or do whatever activity it is. It's really coming to you, and there's your rebirth already. Look how quick that is. I mean, that is just beautiful. Oh my goodness, we have another major arcana card. Oh my goodness me. No, 3 out of 4 major arcana. Makes me shiver when these things happen. I mean, there's 78 cards in the deck, right? And only 22 of them are major arcana. When the major arcanas come up, they're talking to you. He's Aries. He's Aries. And he's power. He's power, he's Aries, and he is authority figure. You can go either way. He can be the negative authoritarian figure that we're moving away from, but he can also be your inner authority. The inner authority is your soul, isn't it? Your soul is leading the way. It's your soul that's going to stop you. Soul, I want to say soul, sun, soul in Spanish. But soul. It's just like I'm just seeing that kind of connection there. This is your power. This is the sun. There is a masculine energy here, a very positive masculine energy, I have to say. Ah, yes, that's brilliant. We have been programmed by this toxic masculine energy for so many decades now that I'm seeing a real beautiful, divine, positive masculine energy emerging now, and we need that on the planet, don't we, to go hand in hand with the divine feminine that's been emerging for a while. So yeah, I don't know why I had to say that bit. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful masculine energy, because it's moving away from this would represent, I guess, a negative masculine energy, but as I said, this is more addictions and fear and separation. But there is a lot of separation to this card, because of this is why the one 2 weeks ago about learning to love the devil, because we push the devil away. It's the parts of us that we don't like. It's the parts of us that we don't want to see. He's the one in the shadow, the bits, the truths that we don't want to see, because they make us feel uncomfortable. Yeah. And we push it away. That's why we never feel whole. So it is about learning to love the devil. It is about bringing it in, and shining light on it. And then going, okay, I don't want to carry on with that addiction, whatever it might be, or that temptation, or that self-sabotage, whatever it might be. But we're not going to stop it by beating ourselves up. And we're not going to stop it by forcing ourselves. Now, this came up as well because Saturn is in Pisces. And Saturn is the discipline energy. Pisces is the spiritual one. So we're not forcing ourselves to do things, but we can use Saturn's strength, because the devil, yeah, we had this conversation before with the learning to love the devil, because he's Capricorn. Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. So, but we can use Saturn's strength and willpower. Okay, so rather than, because Saturn is very controlling, but there's a thin line between control and willpower. So you can use your willpower lovingly. Love yourself enough to listen to your soul and let your human change your human's habits to fit in with your soul's desires. That's kind of what I want to say. And using the positive energies of Saturn to discipline. I mean, discipline can be positive or negative, can't it? Let's use it positively. That's what I'm getting, because this beautiful positive card, there is a rebirth, there's a new you, and you don't need this density. This is lowering your frequency. Okay. And this card is about stepping into your power, stepping into your full power. In Aries is the Emperor. He's a pioneer. He is fiery. He's fire sign. He's passionate. This is an earth sign, so it can be quite deep rooted. These addictions can be, well, they are so deep rooted. Our whole society, well, the one I was brought up in was very much about drinking is socially acceptable, and all these deep rooted things that it has become totally acceptable. So I know like, that does sound judgmental as well, but hey ho, I'm just saying what the cards are saying. But this is fiery, and fire is transformational. So, with the Aries energy, we can transform all of that and use the passions, because fire is passion as well. So use your fiery nature, your passionate nature, to embrace and to love that new you that is emerging. There is a new you emerging. There's a new you that doesn't want to be tempted by this. There's a new you that wants to listen to its soul, listen to your soul, and let go of the expectations that your human has. And it could involve letting go of some people. It could involve letting go of some activities. It could certainly involve starting some new ones. Okay, so just being more aware of how you listen to your own guidance. This is about following your own guidance and not following that programming, or not following the guidance or the desires of the people outside of you, because he's representing inner authority. And your inner authority is your soul. It's your heart. Your soul speaks to you through your heart. Listen to your heart. We can actually summarize everything by saying listen to your heart. 3 major arcanas that cannot be ignored this week. The last card, not a major arcana, but the 10 of Cups. It's happy families. It's absolutely perfect. We've got the rays of spiritual guidance still. Cups is spirituality, intuition, creativity, and emotional fulfillment. Follow your emotional fulfillment. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what you do. Don't judge yourself. Don't worry what other people are going to say. Do what feels good. Here's your family. It might not be blood family. It could be your tribe, right? It could be both, whatever. These are the people that make you feel good. These are the activities that make you feel good. Okay, I think they're barefoot on the grass. Get that bit in. Barefoot on the grass. It's spring. Okay, it's time to be barefoot on the grass. And even if it's autumn in other parts of the world, we could still enjoy being barefoot on the grass. This is happy families. Joy, emotional fulfillment for the whole family, for you and the whole family. Look at them embracing divine masculine, divine feminine, creation. There's everything. Creating a tribe, creating a community through love and kindness. Okay, creating a community that is governed by love and kindness. That's part of the intention for the garden retreat, that catering to the needs of the community, a community that is based on love for ourselves, love for each other, and love for humanity, and a community that is based and governed by love and kindness. And that's where we're heading. That's where we're all heading. Oh my God, what a beautiful reading. I absolutely love that this week. Powerful one, powerful one. So brilliant. Love to hear your comments as always. Get in touch if you'd like a private reading. You know how much I love you all and appreciate you all. Have a fantastic week. I'll be putting one out on Saturday then, or coming up to Saturday, maybe a bit before, for the 1st of April. Yay, 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 yay. So all the best. Lots of love. Take care. Have a fantastic week.